Hello, Alexis. This is David Puchta from Proton Spin Technology. So it seems to be a little bit of confusion out there. So let's clarify a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to introduce you to our facilities. This is what we call unassuming. Okay? Because primarily we're a government lab. We work for the federal government and private interests in the energy sector. These are our divisions. Because of the current situation, everybody has specific shifts. I've chosen the night shift. Okay? You notice how we don't have any names on the doors? Because in the technology sector and intellectual property, we're considered spooks. That's a good name. We follow suit with Skunk Works and other government labs like Spa Wars to build energy products. We're backed by some very big financial organizations. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, technically the central bank. And if you've noticed, we don't have any signs out front because we're not technically open to the public, but we do public works. We're entering the facility where the computer chip of the IC chip was born. Okay? This is my desk or my desk, depending on who's here. And like you, I like to draw, but I build things faster than I draw. This is my whiteboard. You have a coloring board. I have a coloring board, my dear. I put this project in the hands of my board of directors for you. This is a fusion reactor. This is 444 million BTU registered hot fusion reactor. Okay? Basically, a big nanovated bubble tub. 4-phase superconductive grid system, making some nice heavy hydrogen, hot steam, cold steam, explosive, superheated steam, back into here. Okay? As the superheated steam comes back into here, the fuel is burned into a closed loop. No CO2 emissions. Then, in here, we go directly from heat to electricity. From this side is our 4-phase superconductive grid system for power loads and everything. We're pretty good at this. So, I'm going to give you your virtual tour. But first, this is where our guests sit before they get checked in, so we know who we're dealing with. I happen to be sitting on this old couch when your nanny emailed me and I answered the call for your Nanovated system. Okay? Say cheese. I took the night shift. So this is my toy box. You have a toy box? I have a toy box, okay? My toy box can be messy, doesn't matter. Your toy box can be messy, it doesn't matter. But I heard a little story that you had a little trouble with a toy being taken from you. And it hurt your skin. We're going to try to fix that. But there's some things I can show you and some things I can't. So when I go like this, now you have my blood. Okay? And so on videos, we can talk to you about this in superconductivity. On other videos, we can talk to you about this and Cooper pairs in language that you'll be able to understand in preschool and kindergarten, because we understand this technology so well. Okay? So during a normal day, we build electronic components. Very, very high-end electronic components. Military grade. Sometimes we have to draw like the big boys. Okay? Sometimes we get to make cool things. Other times, we have to think a little bit. And when we think, then the light bulb comes on. Because our primary focus is the ocean. Okay? That's our primary focus because of the photosynthesis cycle that is reducing the oxygen levels on the planet. That's the cause of global warming. I mean, man-made climate change, not global warming. That's a sun cycle. You can't fix that. So what I always say is, how long can you hold your breath? Because the cyanobacteria in the ocean only grows with the energy platform that's going to be healing you. Okay? And so there's nobody here because everybody's home. And I'm going to show you some of the cool things that we build. Little by little. We do a tremendous amount of machining on machines like this. Okay? These machines machine components. Components like this. Okay? Sometimes we have to hold the components down with things like this. Sometimes we have to get the components really hot with something like this. It's a furnace. But today, we're going to talk about this. Last night, I was laying out the components for your Ozone 7 generator. Okay? But I came up with a very cool idea. This is your vacuum venturi, one of them. Okay? In here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a microscope. And I'm going to fit it just like that. Okay? Just like that. So that when we see The laser, I've machined this one out. Okay. So when we see the vacuum and the laser hitting the bubbles, we're going to be able to see what's called, what's called in here sololuminescence. It's a big word that means when you do this right, the bubble makes light. And we're capturing light inside the bubble. That's right, my dear. I'm one of only a couple of men in the entire world who understand this process. Okay? It's very important. We've taken blood samples from human beings right after treatment, and we can see the light in their blood. I'm going to put in this link a very special video that I am the only person who has this coveted library of a gentleman named George Merkel, that you'll understand how well and how deep we understand DNA. Okay, my dear? And the frequencies necessary. Now, I have some sayings. One of the sayings is, why should I tell you how the clock works when I have to tell you what time it is? Well, that's to keep the ignorance of people at bay. Okay? Apparently, it's come to my attention, and we had to prove that yesterday by opening up your primary build for your system, my dear. Now, when I say I got approval from my entire board to help you, that means I got approval to open and talk about technology at a government level. Just because everybody is in dormant of you and this cause. Unanimous. Okay? So, let's take a walk into my bigger toy box. So one of the other sayings that's by DeGrasse Neil Tyson, the astronomer this year, was knowing enough about a subject, but not know enough to know you're wrong. It came to my attention that somebody said that we did not have the ability to deliver your nanobubble system after showing empirical proof that we've built 1,000-gallon-a-minute systems. And we've made it very clear on our website that we decided to make portable systems. When I received the call, unsolicited by the way, from your Nani, I was in the middle of assembling this toy box, a registered hot fusion reactor. Okay? And so as you can see, I piled everything on top, moved it out of the way so I could address you. I only have 2 weeks, and I have to be back to my normal work. Don't worry, we'll be done before the 2 weeks is up. I make promises, and I keep promises, young lady. Okay? So, let's take another walk. Because what we build is a very powerful fuel. So, as we were talking, sometimes we get lucky and we found this. Okay? It's a little bit off subject, but it's on subject. This is a big safe. And we're going to use this for an explosion chamber so that we're safe. We'll get a nice paint job and it'll look great. Okay? And as promised, this is your special room where your stuff is. But last night, I came up with a great idea because I love empirical data. Okay? And so empirical data means you got to know what's going on, right? You see the lights are on. So my other saying is, to the person who made your nanny feel uncomfortable about your Nanovated system, I say, well, how many times do I have to explain to you that the lights are on when you're blind? Just touch it. It's hot. Okay, so I found this. I have to wipe the dust off. I apologize. But this is a flow meter. You're going to have to learn gallons per minute, not liters per minute. Okay? But you're going to get the idea. It's nice and big. So we know, and it's going to go right here. Just one more thing that I'm donating to your cause. This is probably about $500. I don't care. Okay? So it's going to go right here. So you can see the flow of your system. Okay? And then you'll know if there's no flow, you can tell mommy and nani, hey, change my skin filter. Okay? I know your illness is not funny, but you have to be in a good mood to heal. Right now, we clearly understand the cognitive order of your nanny and your parents. And we went over in the last video the PP test. Okay? On the right is your family. On the left is you. You're acidic and they're going through it with you. Okay? So let's take another walk. Oh yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I said I have a little surprise? I didn't forget. Let's see. Yep, there it is. There it is, my dear. You're still getting a water balloon test. But there's going to be a little surprise to the water balloon test for you. Okay? Because you guys can make water balloons. Why not? Right? Why not? Okay. So in this little bit of a mess, we test our wood shop, but across the way, in the 2-3 buildings across the way that you can't see because the light over there is where we build our quality containers, wood. Okay? And in this section, this is where I do quite a bit of machining. Okay? And we have another part of our machine shop. It's a little messy because I'm in the middle of machining your stuff and I'm not necessarily worried about the mess at the moment. I'll clean it up later. But I was in the middle of building something extremely important and very valuable. Okay? This engine. When your nanny took the call. To make sure that you were okay. Okay? So, right now, it is 8 o'clock in San Diego, California at nighttime. And I'm just starting my 8 o'clock shift. So I have another saying. Apparently, it came to my attention that I don't have a lot of hair in this game. Well, by now, genetically, my family, I should be bald. But this is for you. Okay? I'm going to turn off the flash, and you're going to see that one of the very first things that I took care of on a genetic level is this. Okay? I have a lot of hair in this game, my dear. So I normally say I'm a lion in this arena and I eat meat. If you're man enough to jump in, join me. Okay, my dear, that was your virtual tour. But we have a little care package for you when we find a postal address to send you some cool things to play with. Okay? Because primarily we machine magnets and ferrites and things like that in the energy sector. There's a whole bunch of things that we can give you to play with. Okay? Things like this. Little magnets. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but right now you need fun things to keep you occupied. Okay? And we'll just see how that goes. I hope you enjoyed your virtual tour of just one division of proton spin technology. Okay? We're an international organization on a global scale. Okay? We take care of some very important things in the energy sector. And like I said, unassumingly. Okay, my dear? It's a very important subject. You take care, and we'll talk soon.